That's
we
probably
hear from the voice in the sky that we have the match coming up.
probably
So
a good segue.
Let's go into it.
Probably a good segue. All right, we got rocking a C9 jersey, not a C9 player though. Coming in on the cam. I think right now on the left
This
side,
is the most awkward part for me because
we don't know who they are.
nope, I don't.
We can only describe their appearance, so it's all surface level.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
This guy's wearing a C9 sweater. Does that mean he's...
Okay. Oh man. Here's
Ooh.
what I don't like about early pools.
Sure.
I don't know anyone.
Sure.
And on average, you know, it's you're not going to see like the super good players as much. But on the bright side,
You get the
see
best
teams
tags.
like Ice Climbers Roy
What?
versus Pikachu Luigi. So if you're up, you know, at 11 in the morning watching a tourney on
Let's
Friday.
go.
Oh, where'd they go? They had different player icons.
You just got debated so hard. They were like setting you up for the most exciting low-tier matchups, and instead, we still get some excitement. It's Dr. Nee with his Captain Falcon, Kayos, C9 Hood, WaterPhoenix coming in, melee doubles pools.
We got 2 Falcons on screen, so this means 4 people are getting need.
This means
That's
more.
kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
And there's no telling which person is going to be which. And, ooh.
This is my favorite double stage for that reason. It's like all of your strategies, throw them out the window, the second story window, because Marth is forward smashing.
It's the coin flip stage for sure.
Yeah.
You'll often see teams like pick it in a set if they just kind of got obliterated on their normal counter pick.
Right.
So almost any team, if they're behind, is willing to try this stage.
Yeah, you go to Yoshi's when you want to flatten out the ability to kill. Like, both teams can just kill so quickly that if somebody is particularly good at that, you can take that advantage away from them.
Yeah, or you can use it to your advantage because it's so cramped that sometimes their kill power becomes yours when they hit their team.
Yeah.
Or like we saw the very first stock, Sheik on blue team took advantage of Marth forward smashing her and Falcon because she just did double jump back air and managed to turn it into a kill. A percent Falcon shouldn't have died at, so...
Still a relatively close game at 6-5 with Captain Falcon and green team at high percent. That's Kayos at high percent.
Ooh, and I really liked that drift from Kayos right up until he got killed.
Yeah.
But that was a really good navigation of the invincibility 2v1.
It was good until it wasn't. It's kind of...
It's well, okay. If every strike you get in bowling up until the last frame, you know, everything you get's a strike.
But then
you don't get the strike at the end. You still say they were good rolls.
Yeah, right.
You know, it wasn't a perfect game, but you just gotta take what you get.
You did what you had to do.
Ooh,
the forward smash on the right
there.
side.
And that right there is that's a communication thing, where where Falcon sees Marth rolling, doesn't want to down air him, but if the two of them were a little more on point, you could easily see Dare on the Sheik recovery into a knee, into Marth getting out there and hitting him or just holding the edge.
It was so close on the Falcon. One of the things that I like to use in doubles to kind of focus our attention, because a big problem in doubles is, where the hell do I look?
Yeah.
And what I find is that don't pay too much attention to when 3 players clump up, because then it's just microtransactions. Look at that 4th guy, and if he can make the 2v1 change, or if you can make a 1v1 change into a 2v1, it's the transitions that matter.
How are you, you're playing Vulture at that point. You're sitting on the wings, like trying to figure out how you can capitalize the hardest.
Exactly. Look for the vultures. It's a good way to put it.
And oh man, right there, nice target switch coming out from Dr. Nee.
Yeah.
That's a huge marker of like whether you're doing well as a doubles player in this game is you can't only watch yourself. You have to watch everybody. So you kind of have to mentally zoom out and just see the field as a whole. You don't want to get too detail oriented unless you're like really in the really in the scuffle close up as a Spaceys or something. Apart from that, you're mostly watching space. You're watching the blobs fly around.
Right. It becomes less about Captain Falcon than the knee hitbox itself.
The very fast knee hitbox. You just kind of generalize like that. And sometimes you don't actually try and hit people. You just try and own the space around them. And if they try and move into it, it's their fault.
Right.
But you control. And then if your teammate, ends up in a bad spot, you're there to capitalize. But if you overreach, sometimes you end up you do more damage to them than the enemy does, or you set them up for the death combo.
Yeah,
Fiction.
And that's especially true on the smaller stages. But here on Battlefield, a little bit more room to breathe.
Oh, so for our streamers, Dr. Nee and WaterPhoenix took game 1.
What a great... I love that tag, Dr. Nee. I feel like people in pools, like, you get the best variety of tags.
Yeah. Usually they have tried to make their name slightly more respectable the farther along they can get in the tournament. Dr. PP.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
PPMD. Sorry. My bad.
What a great change. Oh, look at that knee from Kayos.
Oh, yeah. And right there, a little bit of tangle. But, I mean, the Falcon air dodge was actually a little weird. And sometimes, especially in doubles, your goal isn't to do the best thing. Your goal is to do the thing that is weirdest to deal with.
Yeah. And to what takes the least amount of your time and commitment. Like, unless you can trust your teammate to wake you up, you need to keep your moves nice and quick so that you can move quickly after them so you're not getting 2v1.
Yeah, you have to be very careful about when you throw out actual finishers in doubles, because Fox up smash, amazing in 1v1 because you won't get punished for landing it, but you can die for landing a good up smash as Fox, which I guess means you wouldn't call it a good up smash.
I got to tell you, though, the other day at a Chicago local, there was like a little kid that was playing for his very first time, and we played doubles with him. And his partner, who's an experienced Mario player, he turned to him and he said, just up smash, just up smash.
Just up smash?
Then he had him play Peach, and he's like, just press this button on the C stick.
Okay. That's cool. The young generation growing up right.
Generation. Right now, blue team with a 5-2 lead, though. They've kind of looked unstoppable this set.
Yeah, I mean, they had what did they win game 1 with? 3 stocks?
Yeah.
And now they're moving to a stage where they're going to have more control and less coin toss.
Yeah. So when they got, a little bit of the chaos out of their system. Oh, that was a little bit of chaos.
Not all of it out of
Not all of it.
It is summer.
It is Dr. Knee.
Oh, man, that's going to be – is that a dead mark? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. They've only got 1 prescription. That's a 2-0. Oh, my goodness. That set so surprisingly little.
Guys, slow down. Slow down. It's not even noon. Don't go so hard yet. All right.
Okay, we got the grab. Trying to stomp into it. They can't get the team combo quite right. After that Falcon punch, kind of was anticlimactic, frankly.
Well,
there we go.
Speaking of anticlimactic, and
all right,
that's
fist pumps all around.
Going down.
WaterPhoenix and Dr. Knee.
Yep.
Nice I like it.
That's interesting.
Oh, they're still going. So, no, they're good enough. All right, we got a wrapped controller. Hey, everybody coming around back.
So, that was. Let's actually talk about the set a little more now, because I know
we got time to breathe.
We're getting in the swing of things too, guys. We're getting warmed up ourselves.
Yeah, we got to do vocal warm-ups. We got to do thinking warm-ups.
Yeah. Got to get your melee brain revved up.
It takes a while.
Yeah,
it's a rusty old brain.
As far as that set went, number one thing I saw at the end was they were trying to style.
Right.
But even when you're trying to style, there has to be a certain amount of calculatedness and measuredness to how you style, like some element of being prepared.
Yeah.
And in doubles especially, having your patterns like locked in. You see a lot of the same team combos from Android Armada, for instance.
It's
the back air volleyball juggles and the same finisher. It is practice.
Back air to back air to back air from left and ice.
So when you've teamed with someone like at all, as your bro for a while, you've got to have things like 2v1 combos worked out.
Yeah.
And then you have to think, okay, how am I going to deal with it if the teammate comes in to save him? So if Sheik gets the grab, what is Falcon going to do?
How do you switch your game plan on the fly?
Yeah, a lot of us mostly sit down and practice singles.
Yeah.
Because that's, considered the main event. There's a lot to be learned from practicing doubles. In terms of just thinking around what another person wants.
Yeah.
And if you can think around what 4 people want, you and 3 others in a game, and you switch over to singles, you're going to transition.
The singles flowchart has the potential to be straightforward in comparison to the doubles flowchart.
Yeah.
The doubles flowchart has to have like sub-flowcharts and then flowcharts within the flowcharts just in case. And
like am I going to threaten the other guy, make it look like I'm target switching off my teammate's grab combo?
Yeah.
So at the end when we saw them both they were going ham and they had the stock lead, but all the same, like if you go back and rewatch it, you're going to notice that they're kind of jumping into each other on those grab finishes.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing you can't afford to do when a set is like really going down.
Right.
You've got to know the spacing on where you want to be to get a follow-up.
Because say that their team synergy is good enough that they make it far into bracket and they're facing a team that's maybe on paper a little bit better than them. When they're in that situation with a 2v1, if they play like that, they're setting themselves up for a lot more risk than they necessarily
They're playing
need.
the best set of their life. Imagine it. Best set of your life. You're up against like 2 top 100 players. One of them has the SD on his